everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So today I have a very special video for you, and the plan is to have a special video every Saturday. So today's video is the top 10 DC comic book covers of Alex Ross. Alex Ross is considered one of the greatest artists in the field of comic books. Alex Ross has revitalized classic superheroes into works of fine art with his brilliant use of painting, and his paintings have revolutionized the comic book industry, inspiring a generation of comic book artists and fans alike. Alex Ross is my personal favorite artist, and quite a few people feel the same way. So starting off with number 10, one of my personal favorites, Wonder Woman, Spirit of Truth. Wonder Woman, Spirit of Truth is a Treasury giant prestige format 64-page graphic novel about Wonder Woman that was published by DC in December 2001. It is written by Paul Dini and painted by Alex Ross. And one thing I like about it, and you will have probably noticed, is Wonder Woman's eyes really jump off the cover and look really terrific. Alright, number 9. Now this one's really cool. It is Savage Dragon Superman, Chicago. And this one is a collaboration. This cover is by Eric Larson as well as Alex Ross. And this is a prestige one-shot that is a company crossover between DC and Image Comics. It features Superman and Savage Dragon, and there would be one other crossover, and that was called Superman Savage Dragon Metropolis. Both crossovers can be read individually, and they are only loosely connected. So moving on to number 8, we have World's Greatest Superheroes. World's Greatest Superheroes is the name of the oversized slipcase hardcover anthology collection that collects reprints of 6 novels that are all created by Alex Ross and writer Paul Dini. It was released on August 1st, 2005, and was reprinted in September 2008. Now, one thing I often talk about on this channel is busy covers. What I mean by that are covers that have a whole bunch of characters on the cover. And there's good ways to do that, and there are bad ways to do that. And this cover is an example of a good way to do this. This is a brilliant cover. There are so many characters on here, they hardly overlap. You can see everyone well, even the people in the back. It's really awesome. It's got the standard realism of Alex Ross and his bright colors and the shininess on things such as Wonder Woman's tiara is just phenomenal. So moving on to number 7, we have Superman, Peace on Earth. Now the really interesting thing about number 7 here is this is an unused cover. They didn't end up using this cover. Now the standard cover for Superman, Peace on Earth is pretty cool, but it's kind of generic too. It's just Superman in flight, close up, really zoomed in. You mostly just see his chest and face. You don't even see his hands. So I think this is a much better cover personally, and it's one of my personal favorites. And it really, in one image, encapsulates who I think Superman is, but on top of that, the story of Superman, Peace on Earth. The whole story is really captured in that one image, and that would have been, I think, the ideal cover for that story. Alright, so moving on to number 6, we have JSA Kingdom Come Special, The Kingdom. Now this came out in January 2009 and is another collaboration. This is by Alex Ross and Fernando Parison, and Parison also did the interior pencils, and this book was written by Jeff Johns. This is another phenomenal example of how to do a busy cover, and I would argue it's even better than number 8 was. One thing you'll notice is you can see the full body of each character, and that is really remarkable. It's very rare for a busy cover to include the full characters, their feet and hands, their whole bodies, and it's great. It's standard Alex Ross, beautiful, realistic art, and you can see every character completely, aside from a couple on the bottom are a little cut off, but that's a really amazing cover, and If Alex Ross didn't have so much other tremendous art, this cover would absolutely be ranked higher on the list. But being ranked number 6 of all of his tremendous covers is quite good. And part of why I went with just the DC covers, aside from this being a DC channel, is to try and narrow the list down, because I had so much to look through. Alright, so moving on to number 5. We have a really just phenomenal cover here. Superman Fantastic Four, subtitled The Infinite Destruction, is an intercompany comic book jointly published by DC Comics and Marvel Comics, and it came out in July 1999. This tale unites DC's hero Superman and Marvel's first superhero team, the Fantastic Four, pitting them against Cyborg Superman and Galactus. One thing you'll notice on this cover is it's just beautiful. The painting, Alex Ross does this painting, and it just, the colors and everything are really fantastic. But, it's really great, especially when you have the full spread there and you can see Galactus on the other side. Moving on to number 4, we have JLA, The Lightning Saga. Now, The Lightning Saga is a comic book crossover story arc that took place in DC between the two flagship teams of the Justice League of America and the Justice Society of America. It was written by Brad Meltzer and Jeff Johns. The interiors are illustrated by Ed Benez, and if you've been following this channel, you know I'm a big fan of his art. He did a lot of the covers on Countdown, which I've also been doing reviews of. It also has the illustrations of Dale Eagles, Ham, and Shane Davis, who is really phenomenal and done a lot of good Superman art. And it is notable for reintroducing the Legion of Superheroes back into the post-Infinite Crisis era. So Alex Ross did the cover for the trade paperback collection of this story arc, and Michael Turner did a lot of the individual issues covers. So I've read the Lightning Saga a few times, and it's really terrific. It's one of my favorite Justice League story arcs, and has actually made me a big fan of Brad Meltzer's writings. Alright, so moving on. We're now in the top 3, and believe it or not, Kingdom Come is number 3, which means number 2 and 1 must be incredible. So Kingdom Come, a lot of you will know about it, but it's a 4-issue comic book miniseries published in 1996 as an Elseworlds story. It was written by Mark Waid and Alex Ross, and Alex Ross did the painting for the cover and all of the art in the interiors. This is an Elseworlds story about deconstructionist tale set in the future, and it deals with a growing conflict between the visibly out-of-touch, quote-unquote, traditional superheroes and a growing population of largely immoral and dangerously irresponsible new vigilantes. So the writing in the story is just phenomenal, and I think aside from Crisis on Infinite Earths, it is my favorite comic book story. Alright, so moving on to number 2, we have History of the DC Universe from 2002, and it was also reprinted in 2009. This is a perfect companion to Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it is a definitive history of the DC Universe based on the consequences of that epic story. So this book is narrated by the Harbinger, who is a central figure in the Crisis on Infinite Earths. The reader is brought through a history of the world and its heroes, and it features nearly every character in the DC Universe, just like Crisis on Infinite Earths. And I really like this cover. I think it's pretty awesome. Alright, so we're up to number 1. So on number 1, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I went ahead and included all of Alex Ross's Justice Society of America books. These ran from, he did the covers for Justice Society of America 1 through 26, and that came out between 2007 and 2009. And then he also did JSA 68, 69, 72 through 81, and an annual between 2005 and 2008. So all of the covers that came out in this time period are just fantastic. Honestly, I'm going to have to do a top 10 Justice Society of America covers by Alex Ross, and this entire list could have just been Justice Society of America covers. So these are the ones I have. I have a small collection of them, probably 12 or so. This isn't all of them pictured, but it's most of them. He did over 20 though, so I don't have a full set. That would be really nice. But it gives you an idea of how they look in real life, and they are just beautiful. If I were to pick overall, overall, it would be very hard. I would probably go with the issue 1, the first issue. It's really great. It's got pretty much the whole JSA there at a round table, but all of them are really great. I really like this one that has Hawkman and Hawkgirl. I really like this one that has Black Adam, and I've been reviewing Countdown, so the Black Adam style Mary Marvel is something I've been real interested in, as that's a huge part of that story arc. And I believe that's Isis in the background, so she looks really cool too. All of these covers are really terrific, and I would highly recommend reading them if you ever get the opportunity. So that's the top 10 Alex Ross covers on DC Comics. So let me know what you thought, if you feel like some other covers should have been on this list, if some of them shouldn't have been on the list. Let me know down in the comments. Let me know if Alex Ross is your favorite artist too, or if not, who your favorite artist is. And feel free to share this video, spread the word about this channel. It's been around a couple months, but we're still pretty new, so feel free to spread the word. Click subscribe if you aren't subscribed. That helps me out just tremendously. And if you really want to be up to date, click the little bell next to the subscribe button, and that'll give you a notification as soon as I put up a video. Alright, and as always, thank you for watching and being a part of DC Fans United.
End of line.